Oh, well, hello, all of my friends. You are here just in time for Dune time. That's what time it is. I'm player 2. It's Dune Imperium Digital, ranked Rise of Ix. Here are the leaders available to me. Baron has been picked already by Trouvaille. So we get Clear Love 7 and Bad News B in the game here. Ilbon, Memnon, Hundro, Yuna, and Ilesa still available. Here is the Imperium row: Spice Smugglers, Power Play, Gunthopter, Truthsayer, Other, Memory. Okay. And over here in the tech offer, ooh, Shuttle Fleet, Holo Projectors, Training, Drone Ace. Okay. Interesting. Well, I'll just have to wait and see what kind of mood strikes me. But as you know, I do love a good shuttle fleet. In position 2 here, you know, that means I can potentially either double smuggle or double fold space, but not necessarily. It depends on the opening hand. Hundro gets picked up. All right. Let me go with Ilesa Ecaz. I haven't played her for a little while. So let's see how we do here. This is a game recorded straight for YouTube. This is not from the stream. Typically Saturdays are when these kinds of games come out. The schedule typically is Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's a game cut from the stream. And then Saturday is a brand new game. And then, of course, Monday is another brand new game recorded just for members. Ilesa Ecaz, reminder, she's got this interesting one step ahead ability. So at the start of the round, you choose a card from your hand and set it aside. At the start of your second turn, you get it back into your hand. And if you use it to send an agent, then you get a bonus resource, either a Solari or a Spice, depending on how many agent icons are on the card. If it has just one agent icon, like for example, Dagger, Dune the Desert Planet, Reconnaissance, then you'll get a Spice. Otherwise, so if it has less than one, so if you somehow stand a convincing argument somewhere, or if it has more than one, then you'll get a Solari instead. So it's a pretty nice way to just kind of collect resources throughout the game, but it can be a little tricky and it can be a little thinky. So let's see what our hand looks like. Okay. Okay, so I'm either going to want to use Diplomacy or Dune first, depending on what Yuna does. I expect Yuna is going to be going to Smuggling. I think I'm going to choose Reconnaissance, or maybe even Dagger, if I can get to Tech Negotiation. I'm going to choose the Reconnaissance. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use it or not, but I need to keep my options open here for either Smuggling or Fold Space. Now, maybe it would have made more sense to go with maybe the Seek Allies, because that could probably go somewhere. Whereas the Reconnaissance might get blocked here. And my concern was that my Dagger might get blocked. I kind of would have liked to have picked the Dagger because that would have gotten me on a good path towards Shuttle Fleet, right? Dagger to Tech Negotiation. I could take one Negotiator and get one Spice. I'd be kind of on my way. I mean, I do love getting that Shuttle Fleet. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, she ends up going to Wealth. All right, so neither Fold Space nor Smuggling. So now I have to decide which way to go for myself. Huh. It's too bad. If I had known Smuggling was going to be available, then I would have opted for the Solari, tried to get the Solari actually instead, and that would have set me up for a round 2 Swordmaster. Maybe I should have done that anyway. Okay, well, this is kind of weird now, but I think I do want to get Fold Space going. I'm going to go with the Fold Space route here. It's kind of weird, but I didn't want to not play either of those things. I don't know. So if I'd gone to smuggling, then, you know, because I want to try to play the reconnaissance to get the spice, right? And to get some Solari out of here. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should have done it anyway. Just here, because if I could get this and get even just third place Solari, then I'd be ready for a Swordmaster next round. But what's done is done, so we'll see how this all plays out. Tundra goes to Stillsuit. Smuggling still available. I do not expect it to remain available for much longer. We'll see, though. Baron might decide to go to Hardy Warriors. And he does. Okay, let's see what Yuna does. Am I going to get smuggling after all? Because if smuggling is available, I think I'll take that and just forget about the spice from the reconnaissance. Okay. I think I smuggle. The awkward thing here is I won't be able to actually get the second bump on Fold Space because I had the Diplomacy and the Seek Allies in my opening hand, and so maybe I didn't really think about that enough. If I were to go to Arakeen, then I would draw a card, which would reshuffle. It would give me a chance at getting, you know, Fold Space or Diplomacy into my hand next round. That's kind of a sketchy move, though, it feels like. Oh man, what a weird way this has gone. I think I'll just do this. And I'll have 2 Persuasion. I could maybe go for the Spice Smugglers. Spice Smugglers on Ilesa is better than it is on many leaders, because if this is the card I choose as my second agent, as the card I set aside, then when I play it, I'll get a Spice, which I can use to pay for its ability. And so in that sense, I only need to have 1 Spice on me to make it work. But I still need to have a Spice on me to make it work, and I currently don't. I might try it, though. So, a little bit of a fail here, not getting anything out of my 1 step ahead. I mean, that's the trick with it, right? It's like, ooh, free resources every round. Well, it's not a guarantee, because things can change. I could have played it to Arakeen, and maybe I should have. It would have given me a bit more persuasion, potentially, as well. Maybe I could have picked up, you know, one of these cards, but... yeah, could have gotten me a Truthsayer. Anyway, we'll go with the Spice Smugglers and just see how it works out. I haven't had a ton of success with this card. If you've seen my card rankings for Rise of Ix, when I talk about this, I've said, like, I don't often get a ton of value out of this, but I'm going to give it another try here. I think I'll probably end up going up on smuggling here. But the bad news is this is going to leave fold space open for Baron. So we'll see how this ends up going. Yuna had an intrigue card, I guess, was trying to decide whether or not to play it. Hundro obviously has an intrigue card. Hundro knows what Baron's intrigue card is, I think. Because I think, did Baron go to secrets before or after Yuna went to Carthag? After, right? So Hundro gets to look at the top 2 cards of the intrigue deck at the start of the game and choose one to keep, put the other one back on top, which means the next intrigue card that gets drawn, Hundro knows what it is. And I think that's Yuna's intrigue card that Hundro knows. All right, so Baron wins this conflict, which is not great. It's not great. I feel like this has gone a little bit weird. Okay, Signet Ring is going to be second. I'm going to go ahead and smuggle. And yeah, I'm going to go up here. Dropping down would get me to 7, which is not great. I mean, it puts me within 1. You know, if somebody drops, then it would get me to 8. If Hundro, you know, had maybe, again, his Signet Ring is in his discard pile, so it wouldn't have worked. Baron is going to be going to... oh, no, he doesn't have his Diplomacy or his Seek Allies, so I guess he's not going to fold space. He goes to Tech Negotiation. I guess I will get my 8th Solari out of this, but I also want to spend it. So what do I want to do here? I think Carthag might not be bad for me. I'm not sure if I want to draw right now. Interesting. I am going to buy a fold space. I am going to put in 3. Because I'm kind of happy with either winning or getting second. Baron does not have any Solari to buy an intrigue card with his Signet Ring. He puts in 2 troops. Perhaps he's eyeing second place for this big load of spice here. We'll see what Yuna decides to do. She has... she can't really deploy, though, can she? Okay, she is able to get Swordmaster. All right. So... I've got interesting options here. I don't have any Bene Gesserit cards at the moment. The Fremen camp is another one that kind of works well with Ilesa, so I'm going to do that. So if I choose this as my second agent, You know, if I'm able to send it to a desert space, then I'll get a spice from my one step ahead ability, plus, you know, spice from the space itself. And so it can kind of be free, but we'll see. You know, I already have this card that's kind of a burden on my spice. This is a burden on my spice. I would like to get Shuttle Fleet. I don't expect it to happen. I've got some spice for later sitting here, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have a ton of practice with Ilesa Ecaz, and so okay, Baron is going to be... He's going to be unlocking interstellar shipping next round. Yeah, at least I feel like she's a leader that you really need to get a lot of practice on to get a good feel for what to do when. And I've probably played a total of like 5 games with her over the last year, something like that. I like her, but I'm definitely not super comfortable on her. Ooh. Okay, so looks like Hundro will be getting the 3rd place water, and he's going first next round, which means he can immediately grab Great Flat. Looks like Baron's going to be getting the 2 water. Which means if Hundro doesn't do it, Baron can do it, but Baron probably is going to want to get interstellar shipping unlocked. Machinations. Okay, so I won the conflict, which is great. All right, what am I going to do here? Ooh. Is it time to put Fremen camp there? I mean, this would be a great one to win. Maybe we'll try it. Let's see. Let's see if we can get that to work. So, I mean, I expect smuggling to be taken. If somehow it isn't, then, you know. Okay, Hundro goes for the fold space, so Baron's probably going to go for all this spice. Getting control of Imperial Basin here was a pretty good thing for me because, you know, that spice can be put to good use. Baron goes to Wealth. Okay, maybe he's picking this with his 2nd agent, although Hundro might get it with his 2nd agent. Probably not, though, right? Hundro's probably going to go for interstellar shipping. Yeah, okay, there's the smuggling from Yuna. All right, well, I think maybe I'll grab the water and just see what everyone does. I wouldn't mind having it anyway. We'll get 1 in, and then we might get 3 more in. Interstellar shipping. Okay, I expect Baron's going to grab all this spice, but if he doesn't, I'll be happy to do it. Okay, Hundro goes for the up, perhaps planning to... Oh, no. Wait, what? Was that his signet ring? Okay, so he went up, down, and grabs the shuttle fleet. Okay, pretty huge. pretty huge. Okay, so what came up instead? Invasion ships. And somehow he ended up with all of that, right? Because he got this influence, plus the influence off the shuttle fleet. Just grabbed that guild alliance. Baron does not go for the spice. Okay. Okay, now Hundro's out of agents, Baron's out of agents. I just have to worry about Yuna here, but if she goes to Arakeen, she can put in 3 troops. So... I think I have to do that just to make sure. And it might not even be good enough. She has intrigue cards. So I'm quite happy to have been able to get that, because now I've got a bunch of spice on me, so that can power up the spice smugglers. Oh, negotiated withdrawal for Baron. Pretty nice. Let's see what Yuna is up to here. Mentat. Okay, waiting to see my reveal, perhaps. I think I'll take the Smuggler's Thopter here. The Spice Trader is kind of interesting. But I'm going to go with the Smuggler's Thopter. If I win this conflict, I'll get that second influence, but it's not a guarantee that I will. Yuna could have a dagger in hand. I don't know if she's picked up any other swords cards. Rapid mobilization. Oh, wow. That's interesting. What? What? She just really didn't want to draw a card? Because she could have just... Could she have gone to Arakeen? No. Okay, that's what she had in hand. So, alright, fair enough. Okay, the good news is, looks like we're going to win this conflict, so Machinations comes to me. That's really nice for me because that gets me to unlock Interstellar Shipping and Siege Tabor, which is really nice because it means that if I set aside a city card, I've got an extra place to go. On top of it just, obviously being good to unlock anyway, but it's quite nice for Yuna that way. So Spice Smugglers is what I'm going to set aside here, I guess. My first agent is going to be Interstellar Shipping. I can't get Swordmaster unless somebody else drops here. Unless somebody else does a smuggle drop, which could happen. Should I just choose the diplomacy? I don't know. I'm going to do that. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Hey, let me give a quick shout out to our newest members of the channel. Welcome to Corey Dombrowski and Miguel Cicero Turek. Thank you so much for joining and becoming a member. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your members' perks, which include stream VODs and the weekly Members Monday video. If you would like to become a member, click the join button down below for details. Let's get back to the game. Probably not the right decision. It's just I kind of wanted to do it. But yeah, probably not really the right decision. Oh no, I don't get to go to interstellar shipping. Okay. Ah, Baron and his intrigue cards. Okay. Okay. So if I can smuggle, then I could maybe get Swordmaster here. But I can't smuggle. There's 3 spice sitting here. There's 4 spice sitting here. Getting the spice means not getting diplomacy played, though, which feels bad. Okay, I can't get this spice anyway, but 3 spice. I could conspire. Conspire would get me Swordmaster. Okay, you know what? Let me do that. So this thing is not going to happen. Oh, man. Oh, really? Okay. Grand Conspiracy. The worst endgame intrigue of all time. At least that's how I feel about it. It's just such a pain in the neck to try to get it to work. You need a High Council seat. Okay, fine. I typically like to get a High Council seat. You need to get 1 spice must flow. Okay, typically like to do that, but it certainly doesn't happen every game. 2 dreadnoughts. Blah. 4+ influence on 2 tracks. I mean, it's doable. Sorry, spice smugglers. I mean, I don't have any spice for it anyway because I went to Conspire. So, final play, if I can, will be Imperial Basin for 3 spice. I think that makes more sense than going to Siege Tabor or Arakeen. Okay, so the next 2 rounds, hopefully I can get to interstellar shipping. And if I can get this spice now, then next round I could potentially up down and take invasion ships, which would let me continue to hit shipping for the rest of the game, potentially. Okay, so when I go here, do I put in my 2 troops to get 2 Solari? I think I do, because Solari is like really important to this Grand Conspiracy. I get 1 sword off of that. Maybe I even beat Yuna for the 2nd place. We'll see. Probably not. So, looks like it's going to be another game where Spice Smugglers does not work out. Surprise, surprise. Ooh, that's going to be a double cross on me. Oh, it's going to be on Baron. I guess that makes more sense, because then she can win. Okay, so that means it's going to be third place for me. Unless Hundro has an intrigue card that he wants to play. All right, well, I am going to take a liaison here, get a little bit more persuasion into the deck. I do need to get at least one spice must flow. Are Baron and I going to tie here? Does Baron have a combat intrigue he wants to play? Looks like no. Everybody now knows that I don't have combat intrigues, because obviously if I had one, I would use it right now. All right, so nobody seems to have combat intrigues at all at the moment. Guild Bank Raid wouldn't be terrible for me. Am I going to do the Fremen Camp trick again? I don't have water. It would have to be Imperial Basin, but Imperial Basin could work. However, I need to go to shipping right away, and that kind of is a good card to send to shipping. So maybe it's even fold space for my second agent. Or reconnaissance, leave fold space for later. Am I going to get High Council seat this round? Maybe I am. Maybe I send fold space to High Council seat, actually. Somebody else could easily take it. I'll do that. And going to here, up, down, I think I can get the invasion ships and trigger the Fremen camp, fill 7 troops in here. Is that good? Or should I just save the spice, perhaps? Maybe I should just save the spice if I'm not really using it. Advance. Drop. Right, I'm also getting troops here. Let me get that. And then I think I'll take Solari actually here. And that gives me an opportunity to get to High Council seat now. Or buy a Dreadnought. Now, if I buy a Dreadnought, I can't buy a tech. But it's tough, because I'd rather send my fold space to a faction. To a faction space. High Council's taken. I could still get there if I really want to, by discarding a card to my invasion ships. I wouldn't mind getting in here. So fold space to still suits could be a decent play as well. Get me some water. Alternatively, just go to secrets, start working on that. But getting a dreadnought now means I could start using it next round. I'm gonna do this. It's pretty nuts, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because I have Grand Conspiracy. So I don't know, because, you know, I also need 4 influence on 2 tracks, and fold space would help me get that. But, oh, burning the machine culture on what? Training drones. Interesting. Spy satellites. Do I want to pick up a couple of spice here, or do I want to pick up a water? Do I want to go to Arakeen and draw a card? Maybe I end up with Guild Accord or Shai Hulud. Let's go for another intrigue card here. Okay. I don't know if that's the best idea. Maybe I actually want my Dreadnought to come back to me so that I can use it next round. I don't know. Yuna is not in desperate need of Solari. Baron kind of is. But, you know, I could certainly use more for the High Council and another Dreadnought. This coming round, I'm going to want to hit interstellar shipping. And who knows what else. Zero reveal for Yuna. She gets 5 strength, so she's got intrigue cards if she wants. And for me with 5, honestly, I don't know if I really want any of this. I think maybe I will take a liaison. I don't know if I take 2 liaisons, though. Pretty weak from Hundro. Let's see what Baron has. Baron's already revealed. Any intrigues? Master Tactician from Yuna. Okay, do I care enough to deny her that? I don't really, but on the other hand, I'm just going to pass on that. There's an argument that I should just use it so that I don't end up getting stuck on extra intrigue cards somehow, but this could be good for a future conflict here. So I'm going to let that go. She could play a second intrigue card here. Does not. So that's it. Yuna has more Solari than has ever been seen. Okay, this is good. Smuggler's Thopter to interstellar shipping is a pretty good way to start. What do I want to do with my second agent? I would like to get a High Council seat, I think, but it might get taken, but I probably could get it back. I'm going to take the dagger here. All right, so let's get some cards. Fine. Advance. And advance. So if I get the High Council seat, that means I can get rid of this. Okay, I'm gonna do it. So that got me a spice. High Council is now active. Hunter still gets it because of the embedded agent. Well played. Did he play a Bene Gesserit card first? Looks like he did. Yeah, nice combo there. So he gets basically a free interstellar shipping off of that. Okay, now, what do I want to do? Do I want to smuggle? I think I'd rather win this conflict if I can. And I think I'll pick up a water. Yeah. Do I buy a fold space? I think so. Now, okay. If I win, though, I'm going to be getting 2 intrigues, which means, okay, so I'm going to have to use this and this. Hunter's going to get a big deployment in here. But I think with the second wave, I could still potentially beat him. Is that true? Okay, Baron negotiates a withdrawal. Where does he go? Bene Gesserit. Okay, 13 here. Oh, and he goes ahead and gets the alliance right now. Okay, so I've got 7, 8, 9 plus 6 is 15. So I think I try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, fine. We'll see what he reveals for swords. I don't remember if he has... Does he have the Fidecan Death Commando? Yes. So potentially he could have that, but, you know, I'll get to see that before I decide what to do with the second wave, but I'll use the Counselor's Dispensation first, just in case. And I guess, I mean, look, second place is also an intrigue card, so makes sense to use that regardless, and then we'll see if the second wave makes sense based on what Hundro reveals. That's the training drones. Yeah, so that fold space to Dreadnought earlier was an interesting decision. Again, I did it mostly because of this, and because if I'm going to get a Dreadnought, the earlier the better, right? So I've been using it in these conflicts, and that's been pretty good. And last round, letting Una win actually wasn't bad for me because it meant that my Dreadnought was available again this round. Una sneaks in interstellar shipping. She still has another agent. I'm going to go ahead and just use that right now. And reveal. And I think I will take the Guild Accord. Because it's coming up to Hayliner time. And you know what? That might just be the key to victory. I have 3 spice on me at the moment. If I end up with second, I'll have 4 spice, and that'll be ready to rock. I might draw this, you know, right away for round 7. So I think it makes sense to take it. There's a spice must flow for Hundro. Baron, by the way, is sitting at 8 points. That's not great. Seven. Does she take Shai Hulud? She does. Also trashes the freighter fleet with it. Okay, immediately drops. Full-scale assault is revealed, which could be interesting for me in terms of getting that second Dreadnought. Unit getting a lot of stuff done this round. Okay, so let's try this. Let's see if Hundro has a response. He does not. Okay. So maybe I go up here towards the Emperor Alliance. Let's see what the intrigue cards are first. Dispatch an Envoy and Windfall. That's interesting. Yeah, I think I'll do that. And I'll take control of Carthag with my Dreadnought. Okay, it's a Grand Vision. I did not happened to draw the Guild Accord, but I also didn't get Spice. Okay, what's my second agent going to be this time? Is it going to be a dagger for a dreadnought to get me a Spice? I think it kind of might be that. Or who knows, but I'm gonna choose the dagger. Someone's going to pick up all this spice, because if they don't, well, I'm just going to take the dagger. I don't know if it's going to happen that way. I don't really know what my plan is here. Hundro hits shipping. If no, somebody's going to grab this, surely, and then hit Hayliner. No, Baron goes to Mentat. Is Yuna going to take this? Because if nobody does, then I could take it with the fold space, and then I could get to Hayliner with a diplomacy. It's not really what my plan was. You know, Grand Vision is not the one that I really want, but shipping is also an option. So if I Hayliner and Grand Vision, there's a chance I could get this Guild Alliance. It's a little tricky because Hundro does have this available to boost. I also have the Spice Smugglers to maybe push it, but I don't have enough spice to actually make that work. Does a Hayliner win this for me? I think maybe I go ahead and get a Dreadnought. And get an extra spice at the same time. Maybe I finish with Hayliner. And the Dreadnought can then also be deployed. Does anything here make sense? I don't really think so. So getting that Dreadnought means that I can deploy that with the 5 troops. So that's adding 13. So I'd be at 17 strength, which is pretty good. But as far as this goes, I've got the High Council seat and I have the 2 Dreadnoughts, but I don't have for influence, and I'm pretty far from for influence. Though this will help. And I don't have a spice must flow either. This grand conspiracy, man. Oh, dear. Baron gets a spice must flow. Does he have any other points? Oh, with the negotiated withdrawal, he can reinforce that alliance. But if Yuna wins, then he loses it anyway. So does he instead go towards a different alliance? Does he reinforce this one? He can move towards Baron, he could reinforce here, or he could protect here, hoping that Yuna doesn't win. He doesn't know if I'm going to be hitting Hayliner or not. Okay, he does that. There's a world where it almost makes more sense for me to let Yuna win this. To take that alliance from Baron. But I don't think I want to do that because I really need that that influence for myself. Aha. That's a little disturbing. This is a very dicey Hayliner here. I do have +2 here, so Hayliner is 10 plus 3, 13. So that's 17, 18, 19. I mean, I have to try it at this point, I feel. Yeah, I think I just have to try it. Oh, brutal. Brutal. That's so rough. That's really rough. Okay, so then if I win, I guess I would take it with Emperor, I guess. If. I guess I burn this also just in case I end up with an entry card here, which I suppose I will. No. What does Yuna have? Ambush. Okay, well, this game is toasted. Grand Vision, Grand Conspiracy. Wait, why? Okay, that's gonna get him last place, I guess, for some spice. Oh. Okay. Oh, man. I was hoping I would at least get that Guild Accord here. Fremen camp, I guess. So I'm not even going to end up with this alliance, I don't think. Yuna's probably going to end up stealing it. Baron takes spy satellites just to buy a point. Chawmurky. Chawmurky is interesting. Oh my god, that was such a painful scenario. Ambush. What in the world do I do? I mean, I could send like an Arrakis liaison up here if I wanted to get really crazy. I don't know if she could then boost it. Let's see what I get here. A Dune, a signet ring. I don't care. I'm going to see how this goes. I'm running out of time. God damn these animations. I'm going to take the Chawmurky. I'm going to burn this. I'm going to burn this. It's unfortunate to have to burn that when not going to a combat space, but otherwise I was vulnerable to being secrets, which may be whatever, but I just couldn't bear it. Okay, and so Dispatch an Envoy could get me the Emperor's Alliance if Yuna isn't able to get there herself. There's a very decent chance that she will be able to get there herself, but whatever. The other alternative is at least that's 4 influence, so I could, you know, if I'm desperate, actually, well, I mean, I could Hayliner, actually. Do I have troops? Yeah, I've got troops in my supply. I could Hayliner because I could pick up a bit of spice. Well, I'm going to be getting the Fremen camp, so maybe I'm actually going to have more troops than I can even use. I might get the 2 points out of this. Yuna might Hayliner, but I can sneak in anyway. But I've got this Fremen camp coming up. I don't necessarily need to Hayliner. Maybe I'm better off taking that alliance away. Hayliner would get me that 4th influence, though. Oh, this is so weird. Six troops in my supply. So the issue is, though, I now only have 3 troops in my supply. So Hayliner only gives me 3 more plus 2 more for my garrison. I have the private army. I would like to go up here, but Yuna might do it. I can't... I can't do both. I can't get the alliance and this. So it's like 1 point one way or the other, really. So there's... maybe I shouldn't have done this. I was thinking about just using Dispatch and Envoy to get the Emperor Alliance. I was thinking of actually dispatching the Fremen camp here so that I'd get the 1 spice, which would have allowed me to Hayliner. That probably was the better way to go. Okay, and Yuna hits Hayliner now. So... if I hit Hayliner, I'm going to be adding 10 strength because it'll be 3 from the Hayliner, 2 from the garrison. I'll be 22. I kind of think I have to do it. I'd rather get 2 points than 1 point. And, you know, I have the private army as well that all... I'm going to get a spice must flow. So it looks like it's going to be 2 points out of the Grand Vision. So let's see. If I win this conflict, that's 7, 8, 9, 10. And winning tiebreakers. It's possible. Okay, 4 strength there. So I just have to hope she doesn't have another ambush of some kind. Okay, that's 10 for Hundro. If I can get to 10, I'll still win the tiebreaker if he doesn't have anything else. All right, you know what he got? Strategic push. That's not going to be good enough. You'll need something else as well. Okay. Nothing. So it's going to just come down to whether Hundra or Baron, you know, whether they have any endgame points. One of them probably does. No! Really? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Oh my goodness me. Félicitations. Hey, thank you, Sylvain. I appreciate that. I'm really surprised. I was really expecting, you know, 100. I feel like Baron almost always has endgame points just because he's able to buy so many intrigue cards throughout the game. And he had 3 that he's been sitting on. But, okay, let's say he had plans within plans. He didn't have that active. Let's say he had control of the market or corner the market. Corner the market would have worked. So he just didn't have it. He obviously didn't have Grand Conspiracy. War Chest, no. He had Machine Culture, but used it to buy the training drones and wouldn't have worked anyway. So, I mean, they didn't have them, right? They would have shown them. They just didn't have them this time. Sometimes they just don't have them. Wow. So, I mean, it turns out I needed every little bit here. So I think the way I played it ended up being correct. Because if I'd done the other way, which was dispatch the Fremen camp to Wealth to get the Emperor Alliance and 1 spice, then I wouldn't have won the conflict because I needed that that intrigue card. I needed whatever the private army, right? I needed the 2 spice to pay for the private army because I think I would have been able to deploy like 1 fewer troop as well in that scenario. So let me think. Fremen camp I got in 3, but then my garrison was like, I would have had the issue with the garrison, I think, either way. Yeah, I could have gotten 5 troops out of my garrison, kind of no matter which way I went, I think. Or 6. Anyway, whatever. You tell me. You let me know what you think of that. I can't believe that that worked, man. Grand Conspiracy! The Grand Conspiracy came through in the end. Yeah. I mean, that was the decision too, right? It was either get this alliance or get the 2nd Grand Conspiracy point, I think. Or, hold on. Grand Conspiracy, okay. You need to satisfy 3 of the conditions for the 2 points. You don't need all 4. I think I often feel like you need all 4, but you only need 3. So actually I didn't need the 4 influence because I had the 2 dreadnoughts. I got a spice must blow that round and I had the seat on the High Council. So actually I didn't need that 4 influence on this track. I thought I did. That actually ended up not being relevant. But I still think that the way it worked out with the conflict, yeah, if I hadn't had the extra spice from going here, then I couldn't play the private army. So anyway, you let me know. I always like to read your comments about this or about whatever. Let me know what you thought of that game. Let me know about different points in the game that you would have made a different decision. I always find that really interesting, and let me know if you enjoyed it as well. So thank you so much for watching. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Follow on Twitch, twitch.tv/bludgeon. Join the Discord. The link's in the description below. And if you would like an extra exclusive game recorded just for YouTube. You can become a member of the channel by clicking the join button down below, and that'll get you an extra video every single Monday, as well as unlocking stream VODs going back through the history of the channel and going forward. Of course, tune in to the live stream Sunday mornings Eastern time. And if you're in the Discord, then you'll find out about streams that might happen other times throughout the week that are less predictable. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.